So we've now got the KC Cup in the rearview mirror, meaning it's finally time for the Duel Links BANLIST for November. Now, fingers crossed on this one, we're getting a mono hit. Right, that is the one thing I think everyone kind of wants to see, is that card go. Now, we saw a few weeks ago now was that emergency BANLIST, right, for the FTK skills, and it of course hit some cards, but there are still some going around, and so if Konami have got that same kind of mindset, hopefully they tick some more boxes off, get some more of those on there. We're seeing way more cringe interactions released right with reveal skills, and so they may also go for that. Eye of Truth, for example, is a big one that's going around right now. So let's see what's going on. We've got a card BANLIST and a skill BANLIST both go into effect on the 1st December, which is weird because usually it's around a maintenance, but I guess it's going to be alongside the ranked reset. Probably is what I would assume, which is pretty cool. So let's go cards first of all. 3, 2, 1, we've got Forbidden is Amano Wato and Mind on Air. Okay, so the DM skill was enough for this card to be hit on the ban list, which does make sense, right? Because so many skills right now rely on you revealing a card in your hand. And so if you are saying to your opponent, sorry, you can't play a skill, then that's Konami losing money, because if these are in the format, then people are more likely to not go into those boxes because they may not be able to play their cards, right? That's the last thing you want. Mono was always pretty cringe. Got more Soshina Birds, the deck is still really, really good, so that is a perfectly fine hit. That is 100%, everyone liked that one, absolute cinema, thank you Konami. We've then got Limit 1s, okie dokie. First of all, is it Gem Knight Master Diamond? Yep, okay, so FTK shenanigans, that's fine. We've got Abyss Dweller. Ooh, finally Abyss Dweller. That is really, really big, right? Obviously, if a deck doesn't have a Limit 1, then you can still play it, but most good decks now have a Limit 1, and so this will remove that Graveyard Interaction, or lack of thereof, I guess, for your opponent, which is really, really big. A really good card, right, but a really unfun card, and I imagine if it's not already, it's going to be in box ship soon. I can't remember where we're up to right now. I think we're still before Zexal, and so I imagine that when they get the cap increase, that this card will be a, you know, a free-to-play card, and so it being Limit 1 isn't going to affect Konami that badly. Then Crocosaur. Okay, so this was on the ban list, right? It was on it for a while. I believe for like Yusei Stardust stuff, I think. And this, I imagine, is more for Blue Eyes now. Are they running Limit 1s? They've got to have a Limit 1 as well. Otherwise, this doesn't really do too much by itself. Gimmick Puppet Nightmare. Is that doing anything right now? Like, it's a cringe card, of course, in the OGTC Master, we all know, you know, Sanctifier Dragon, right? It's kind of the main thing with this, and so could it be signaling that maybe in the news main box we get Sanctifier? That seems really, really early in the whole lore of the branded Alabast stuff, so I don't think so, but just a cringe card hit now, rather than waiting down the line and then potentially going for it. If it becomes a problem, just, you know, slap it now, and then it won't be a problem, surely. We've then got Luster Dragon number 2. This is like one of the, you know, when you show a Master player or TCG player the BANLIST, right, they laugh because this is the weird stuff Duel Links does, right? So Limit 1 means you now can't really go into your rank 6 Xyzes, your Atum, that quickly. You've got to do a bit more. You've got to go for a Luster Dragon number 1, maybe 2 of them, and then go for rank 4 and find another route, right? Which is okay. You know, I think that's fine. Obviously, the bigger thing is hitting the skill would be a little bit better, but for a first kind of step, of course, we need to hit a bunch of FTK stuff. That was good, but the deck is still around, right? It's still really, really good, but I don't mind it, right? I don't mind it, so I'm not sure if like this is a warranted kind of hit in this one in particular. Like this kind in particular being hit. This does kind of bring us back to how the skill was worded, right? Where it was 1 Dragon number 1, 1 Dragon number 2. So if you were planning builds around that, then those combos still work. So that should be fun to kind of see where things land for that deck. Then is Spell Absorption, which Fire Princess shenanigans are right. Like, was anyone playing this in ranked? Like maybe in the what's it called, in the Duels Kingdom event, right? The Legacy Duels, right? Maybe in that one, this was doing a thing, but in ranked, were people playing Fire Princess? I don't really think they were. So bit of a weird one. Right. So Schism is a weird one because obviously I love Sinkstall hits, right? I don't think it's a fun deck to play against. This Limit 1 means you're now off of Super Poly if you went before, because you've also got the Trap card, right? Resh, also a Limit 1. So you're now off of Resh, right? That's a really big hit. That's a really big hit. Now, I imagine the reason is because, right, they've gone for hit for Rebecca, right? And in theory, one for Blue Eyes. So if you're taking the best decks of the format and you're nerfing them, then Shadol just becomes the best deck again. And we saw the main box Savage Shot, right, did absolutely nothing. So, we'll see how things kind of go there. But I like this one. It seems, okay, that was expected, right? Reveal skill, yeah, this is perfectly fine. Dark Room as well is another burn one. Like, why? I know it's already halved, right? It's halved to 150. But it's just funny, right, that our balance is now so bloated by burn cards because Konami didn't think to, like, you know, limit skills or go down the route of halving all the burn damage for all the old cards as well, right? That would actually do something. I don't think 150 at a time was doing that much, but sure, I guess. Manthrow Tro in the same vein, right? Again, you could have halved this and no one would be playing it. So, I don't know. There's Limon from Blue Eyes. That's the big kicker. Okay, Majesty of the White Dragons. So, they were playing 3 of this. And the weird thing of Blue Eyes, that the bad thing about facing Blue Eyes, was that they could search one of these, set it face down, right up the trap card, and then have one hand, and then you'd know where one was, but you'd be able to Cosmic it and then have a second one waiting in the wings, right, and you wouldn't know. So now it does mean that you are guaranteed if they search off of True Light, you know where it is, you know where you've got hit with the Cosmic before you start your combos. So this is a really, really good hit, and I think it does just like bring that power level down just enough. They're still going to be really good. Blue Eyes is still going to be really, really good, you know, no questions asked, but it does bring them down enough, which is cool. And it's a trap, so probably going to be no a Fjord Destruction as well, which is in line with this, right? So, okay, you know, actually a really, really, no limit 2s, no on limbs, but you know what? I think overall, almost like 99% of the cards on this list deserve to be here. Really, really good ban list, or a really good ban list. Now, the big thing is, are we getting some really good skill changes, right? That will actually make this perfect. What do we got? We've got Guardian, Angels, Charity being nerfed. Shinato's Deckmaster skill being nerfed. Is that the bad one or the good one? We'll see. We're getting buffs to Rescue Rapper skill, to Springans, and to, I believe that is going to be the Ritual Liberator deck, right? So we'll see on that one. Starlight Drive and Dice Semi-Gravity are just going to be getting buffed. Cool. And Spiritual Calling is getting a buff as well to use Nikitama. Okay. Let's see what they've cooked. Let's see what they've cooked. So, for Guardians of Charity, we've got, you could only draw cards by card effects once per turn. That shuts down those FTKs, right? Because the whole thing is you're deep drawing your deck. And so, you know, this would have been the perfect way to hit the deck in the first place without going down that balanced route of just hitting every card under the sun, right? This does mean Aggressive Charity is way more impactful, and so I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference to the core Dragon deck, right? The one that's playing Dragon Maids and playing the Tidal, etc. Is it Tidal? No, it's not Tidal, it's the other one, the winner one. I don't think it's going to make that much difference. The bigger thing is going to be that Lost Dragon going to 1, so we'll see. We'll see how the deck kind of fares from now on. We've then got the Shinato skill, which is going to make it so that only Shinato deals burn damage. Okay, so FTK stopping, that is really neat as well. Rescue Rabbit Call is making it so you summon a Rescue Rabbit from your hand or deck rather than just your deck. Okay, making it so that your Rescue Rabbit isn't a brick, really good as well. 3 for 3, good changes, I like it. Springans joining is adding Supreme Sovereign Serpent of Gongonda as a target. I imagine that's an oversight, right, they didn't think about, and isn't gonna change much for the deck, right, because I've not really seen that card even see play OSG in Springans, I don't think, so that's probably like a nothing change, really. Ooh, Liberator skill. So you can special summon non-effect monsters, right, so I guess like Unexpected Die might be fine to kind of kickstart stuff, or they've got the token spell, haven't they? They've got a token spell, right? The summons a token that you can't play because the skill locked you into it before. So again, it's kind of something they didn't foresee, and now correcting it. Starlight Drive. Now, that's a whole load of differences. Okay, right, so once per turn the first thing effect, rather than once per turn twice per duel. Okay, that's really, really cool. If you've got Stars Dragon, you can play a form of Synchro Mass in your deck in defense mode, and also get a Shooting Star, which is a pop plus a tagger into a level 10, I believe? And that's not once per duel. Okay, that's a really big buff. I believe this skill was the one that was being played by Emancipator, right? Before they got the Rest Grabber skill and moved to that one. So that's a really big change. Then the second part, if your opponent has cards in their field or graveyard, rather than if they've only got a monster, which means that if you get Veiled on your turn 1, you can then play this skill. You can then cheat out a Stars Dragon, then dump up to 3 random level 2 monsters rather than sending 2. So you can send 1, 2, or 3 now. That's a really big buff. That's like a whole new skill. You know, this would be something KONAMI would go, you know what, we're packaging up, new skill, go wild. And we just saw, yesterday, Duel Links trying to get a brand new Stars Dragon skill. And so it feels like they're kind of competing with each other. I think their one is still a bit better, a bit more on theme. But this seems really, really good now. Getting a pop every turn, getting a tagger every turn. Okay. Dyson Sphere Gravity is changing to... Where is that? It is... Oh, there it is. Shuffle back 1 rather than shuffle back 2. Nice buff. Okay, we'll take that. Spiritual Calling is making it so that you now can normal summon non-rock spirits. I'm not too familiar with the skill, and so no real comments there. But overall, this was a really, really good ban list. Right? Like, I think usually you see bans reactions, and there's... It was okay, it was fine, but there's a whole long list of things kind of missed out on. I don't feel that here. Right? I don't feel that there's so much missed out on, right? They've hit 2 of the big bullshit cards in the format. Right, they've hit a bunch of FTK stuff, they've hit Abyss Dweller, they've gone for Rebecca stuff, they've gone for Stoles, the prime best deck in the format, they've gone for Blue Eyes, the best deck of the current format, or at least the most popular ones on ladder. People are going to be pretty happy until they find a way to break this again, right? And maybe this does give decks like Liberancers, stuff from the brand new main box, a bit more of a chance, right, going into December, right, where we're assuming New Year's Day is a brand new main box, right? Usually those ones are really, really good. But also there could be a box coming in early December, right? We saw last year a deckbook box, so I'd imagine we get something for Speed Duel, probably after the GRF sometime around then, would make a ton of sense, right? So we'll have to see what's happening in December. Could be a fun month. Anyway, thanks for watching. If thoughts down below on the brand new ban list. Did they miss things that I didn't know about, right? Because I don't really play Speed Duel that much. Anyway, thanks for watching. Adios.